Welcome to the Celiac Diva!
For today's episode, I'm wearing gluten-free Afterglow Cosmetics. Check out the link below for more information. Now, on to the episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Celiac Diva. I'm your hostess, Lauren Lucille Vassar, and today I'm very honored to be talking with Sloane Miller, author of Allergic Girl. Hello,
Hi!
Okay, so Sloane just has a really exciting book that has hit the stores everywhere. It's in Barnes & Noble. It's all over the place. You are a published author.
I am!
Very exciting. What are your allergies, and when did you first figure out that you had allergies?
So, firstly, I'm a social worker and a writer.
Cool.
So this book is all of my best tips and tricks about being a person with a restricted diet, which can be anyone. My personal story is that I was born with food allergies, and they were discovered in infancy. And as I aged, we discovered more and more as my diet became more varied. Also, by the time I was 4, I became allergic to the environment and also asthma. It's a very typical medical phenomenon. It's called the atopic march.
Okay.
And so, kind of as you go older, your body's like, no, we don't like that so much, so we're gonna go this way, which is what happened to me. So, yeah.
Well, show us your bracelet. And on your bracelet, I believe it says you are allergic to nuts.
You've already memorized it.
I totally looked at it.
So,
I was like, it's cute.
It is cute. So this is a medical alert bracelet.
Okay.
And in the case of emergency, if I were incapacitated by either an asthma attack, because I have allergic asthma, or by anaphylactic shock, this would let medical employees know how to help me. So what it says on it is, it says, asthma, allergic to nuts, salmon, animals. Now, I don't eat animals, obviously, but I do have very severe asthma from animals, so that could knock me out. And I've had this for over 20 years.
Over 20 years. Do you think that celiac disease patients would benefit from having a bracelet like that?
It's a really interesting question, and one of the things that I talk about in my book, and I'm going to look at you right now, because it's really important that you develop a relationship with medical professionals that are trustworthy and that you trust. And this is a perfect question to take to your GI if you have celiac disease, and or if you have celiac disease and food allergies, because many people do have both.
Yes.
Take this question to your GI, take this question to your allergist, and ask them, what do they think? And then make an informed decision.
Now, I want you to know I'm not calling celiac disease an allergy by doing this interview. However, I'm really fascinated because although we don't have the exact same type of, she has allergies, I have celiac disease, we both are from a food restrictive type of a lifestyle. So from that, we're kind of, there's a bond in that.
We've bonded
amongst the whole community of people who have, who have food restrictions. Okay, so what is one of the most common questions you get that you put into your book? I'm assuming it's about the dating.
Well, as a social worker, I have a private practice, and I run something called Worry-Free Dinners, and for families and also adults and individuals, and on my blog, which is Please Don't Pass the Nuts,
yes.
which don't give me any nuts, please. And so I think the common questions from adults is about how to talk to a loved one about this. I also get questions from families about other family members that don't understand. And this is why in the book I talk about creating supportive relationships. And I start with the doctor. You really have to have a supportive relationship with your doctor. And the next step is creating support systems around you. Friends, family, lovers, and food. Yes, food is a support. You need to have a very personal, we all have a personal relationship with food. And for anyone who has adverse reactions to food, we can have a negative relationship.
Right.
And it's very important to work through those feelings of a negative relationship and come back to the love. You want to love food. Food is here to nourish us. It is not evil. It is good. It may feel evil, but we, as long as you're avoiding what will hurt you in any kind of capacity, you can move on to a loving place with food. And the last part of the book is really about how to take these supportive relationships. Once you know your diagnosis, you carry your medications if you have food allergies, you're able to communicate that to others. You have a support system of friends, family, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners, spouses, and you like food, and then you go out into the world and you travel and you date. And so I get
full disclosure.
Well, full disclosure, it's you always have to gauge. You have to gauge your audience, and this is why it's really important. You have to also feel confident about your diagnosis, which is especially if you're newly diagnosed, there's a lot to learn. It's very scary. It's frustrating. You may be getting sick a lot. You may be home a lot because you're so sick, and that's totally understandable. This is where you need to take time, be patient with yourself. There are going to be mistakes. It's going to take, it's not overnight. But yes, full disclosure when you feel it's appropriate. I on dates, I absolutely disclose. And the medical alert bracelet for me is very helpful because it's like, oh, yes, I must take this seriously. It almost speaks for me in a way. But I do all my own speaking since I was, little.
That's awesome. Now, for those who have celiac disease, I feel that this would be a great option for them because it's all about what to do when you have any type of food.
Really, and I mean, I talk about food allergies because I have food allergies, but it really, the lessons are applicable to anyone with a dietary restriction who wants to be in and of the world. And don't we all? Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. We're here at Bryant Park, and I will put all the links to all of her fantastic information, where you can buy her book and all that good jazz. Thank you so much for talking with us today. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Hang on a second. Okay. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Doing our own
I know.
music.
Yes. It's so windy.